Hello and welcome to the Be a Better Boss podcast. I am your host, Ian Highfield, and this podcast is dedicated to one thing: transforming the world through transforming the workplace. Today, we're exploring a vital aspect of leadership that is often overlooked: mentorship. Being a leader is about more than setting targets or managing workflows. It's about guiding, inspiring, and empowering those that you lead. At Harvard, I studied the concept of mentorship, and I learned what separates true mentors from traditional managers. In this episode, we'll discuss what mentorship is and what it is not, why mentorship is absolutely essential in leadership, and practical ways leaders can become effective mentors. So, let's transform the way that you lead by embracing your role as a mentor. Being a traditional corporate leader and just placing pressure on your employees to hit outcome targets is no longer a success formula in this ever-changing business world. So let's kick off with what mentorship is not. To understand mentorship, let's start with what it's not. A great mentor, and remember, we're using the term mentor and interchanging it with leader or manager, is someone that's solely focused on results. Traditional managers often focus on key performance indicators, deadlines, revenue targets, balancing expenditure, and while these are important, a good leader / mentor looks beyond these immediate outcomes. They want to invest in long-term growth and development of the people that they lead. An authority figure that dictates solutions. This is not a good leader. This is not a good mentor. Mentorship is about telling people what to do. Not about telling people. Can you start that again? Sorry.
Absolutely.
I'll clap.
Yep.
Man, I missed one freaking word out and it fucks it all up.
I see.
I think you do need to speed it up just the tiniest
Speed it
bit
up.
as well. Yeah, tiny bit. Awesome. Hello and welcome to the Be a Better Boss podcast. I am your host, Ian Highfield, and this podcast is dedicated to one thing: transforming the world through transforming the workplace. Today, we are exploring a vital aspect of leadership that's often overlooked: mentorship. Being a leader is about more than just setting targets and managing workflows. It's about guiding, inspiring, and empowering those you lead to be the best version of themselves. At Harvard, I was fortunate enough to study the concept of mentorship, and I've learned what separates true mentors from traditional managers. So, in this episode, we will discuss this. Let's look at what mentorship is and what it's not from an evidence-based standpoint. Let's look at why mentorship is an essential part of leadership, and then let's maybe discuss practical ways that CEOs, entrepreneurs, managers, and business leaders can inject mentorship into their DNA as a leader. So, let's start with what mentorship is not. To understand what mentorship is, it does make sense that we look at what it's not. And it's not a manager that's solely focused on results. Traditional managers often focus on key performance indicators, deadlines, revenue targets, budget expenses, and short-term goals. While these are important, a true leader, a true mentor looks beyond immediate outcomes, and they want to invest in long-term growth and development of the human that is in front of them. Leadership, mentorship, is not an authority figure dictating solutions. Mentorship is not about telling people what to do. It's about guiding them to find their own solutions. A great mentor, a great leader does not dominate the conversation. They listen, they ask questions, they facilitate growth. A good leader / mentor, a cheerleader offering empty praise. While encouragement is valuable, mentorship isn't about boosting morale. True mentors and true leaders will challenge individuals. They do not offer empty praise. They're not a cheerleader. They want individuals to grow, so they offer constructive feedback and create opportunities for reflection. What mentorship is from an evidence-based standpoint. So we've looked at what mentorship is not. Now let's say that according to Harvard framework, mentorship is defined as a developmental partnership. It's focused on helping individuals reach their full potential. A mentor, or interchangeably a true business leader, is a guide. Mentors, great business leaders, they provide direction, not answers. They help mentees, employees navigate challenge by asking insightful questions and sharing wisdom from their own experiences. A great example of this might be a leader or a mentor saying, here's how you solve this problem, versus what steps do you think you could take to address this challenge? The second one is an example of what a great boss, great leader, great mentor would do. Being a great leader / mentor creates the catalyst for growth. Great bosses, great mentors push individuals to grow beyond their comfort zone. They encourage skill development. They require and build self-awareness, and they demand resilience, not from a dictatorial standpoint, but through the environment that they create for themselves and their employees or mentees to engage in. A mentor might suggest stretch assignments or encourage reflective practices to deepen learning, rather than just grading an outcome in that moment and telling an individual what they can do better. A mentor and a great boss has to be a role model. A mentor embodies the values and behaviors they want to inspire in others. If you're a leader that wants your team to prioritize work-life balance, you cannot be in the office 17 hours a day. Model healthy boundaries, and your team can do the same. An advocate. Mentors champion their mentees. They advocate for opportunities and they celebrate successes. A mentor might recommend a mentee for a leadership program or highlight achievements to senior members of staff or board members. Why do leaders need to be mentors? Again, let's look at this from an evidence-based standpoint. It builds trust and engagement. This is research proven. Employees who feel supported by their leaders are more engaged and more loyal. Mentorship strengthens these relationships between a leader and employee, and it creates a culture of trust and calibration. This can foster long-term growth. Mentors help employees develop skills. They help employees develop confidence that benefit the individual and the organization. This investment in human growth in the person in front of you leads to a stronger, more capable team. If you are a leader who is a mentor and reflects and fosters this kind of environment. Employees with mentors are more likely to stay with you. This will improve retention. This has huge financial benefits to a company. Mentorship signals that leaders care about their people, personally and professionally, and keeps them at that business. This leads to a great organizational culture. When leaders embrace mentorship, it creates a ripple effect. It encourages a culture of learning, collaboration, and empowerment. In this modern world, people may come and work for your business initially for the financial compensation, but they are going to stay for the culture. And when leaders embrace mentorship, it creates a culture that people want to be a part of. So, what practical ways can a more traditional leader make that shift to be more of a mentor type leader? Well, you've got to create space for growth. You've got to dedicate time for regular meetings with your employees, and these meetings cannot be focused on outcome metrics. They have to be focused on development. You've got to ask questions like, what are your long-term goals? What challenges are you facing? How can I support you? What more do you need from me? What more do you need from the company? Mentors and great leaders, they offer constructive feedback. Not just an 8 out of 10 on a performance review, or not just a grade that means you align with the company values. They offer constant constructive feedback, balancing encouragement with honest, actionable feedback. Often mentors have a great way of providing praise. Then they give an area for development and constructive insights, and then again, build up some praise. This is called the plus minus plus way of giving feedback. A great communication tool to make the shift from being a dictatorial leader to a leader that mentors. Model the behavior you want to see. Demonstrate the values and habits you want to instill in your team. If it's adaptability, if it's resilience, if it's curiosity, your actions and behaviors will speak louder than your words. So you be the leader that your employees want to be led by. Encourage reflection. Help your team reflect on their experiences to extract lessons and insights. After a project's over, ask what went well. Ask what could be improved. Ask what could be learned from this. Don't just throw your feedback in a dictatorial fashion upon the team. Be a mentor, be a leader, engage them, ask great questions. Be an advocate. Look for opportunities to highlight teams' achievements, champion their growth by recommending them for new projects and new roles. And as always, as we've talked about in previous podcasts, help employees, mentor them, let them figure out and support them in understanding that true happiness isn't going to come from hitting those outcome metrics. It's going to come from how they engage in their professional work. How they engage in their work on a day-to-day basis is far more important than what they can gain from it. And if you are a leader that is offering mentorship opportunities to employees, this will help them engage in work in a very healthy, fulfilling manner that can lead to happiness. So, shifting from a boss to a mentor is more than managing tasks or achieving outcomes. It's about inspiring growth and creating an environment where people can reach their full potential. As we've learned from Harvard's mentorship framework, a mentor is a guide, a role model, a catalyst for growth, and an advocate. They focus not on being right or achieving quick wins, but building long-term success through personal relationships and helping employees develop. One of the greatest gifts a leader can give is mentorship. It's not about dominating the conversation and solving every problem because they're the boss. It's about listening, guiding, and empowering others to thrive. The only way to influence people is to talk about what they want and show them how you think they can get it. Dale Carnegie said this, and it highlights that mentorship embodies this principle, helping individuals achieve their goals primarily, and then the byproduct of this, it will strengthen the organization as a whole. So here's your challenge. Stop managing, start mentoring. Be the leader who inspires others to grow, others to achieve, and others to thrive. Not just in their work, but in their lives. And if you engage in this, if you are an entrepreneur, if you are a CEO, if you are a manager that has the desire to develop and evolve from a boss to a leader, in turn, you will also become more fulfilled. There's nothing more rewarding than helping someone achieve their goals and dreams and become better than they ever thought they could be. What a responsibility you have as a manager, as a CEO, as an entrepreneur, as a business leader, as part of a C-suite, to how the humans that live on this planet evolve as professionals, but also as people. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Be a Better Boss. If you're ready to transform your leadership style and embrace mentorship, please subscribe to the podcast, perhaps share it with a like-minded individual who wants more for their self as a leader. You can also visit my website, ianhighfield.com, follow my socials from there, and of course, as we mentioned before, keep an eye out for my book. It's currently work in progress, The Administrative Athlete, Lessons from the Locker Room to the Boardroom. Let's create workplaces where leaders are mentors. Let's empower employees to reach their full potential, and let's transform the world through transforming the workplace. Until next time, I'm Ian Highfield. Be a better boss.
Correct.
Done. Dead on 3:30.